Hello, everyone, and welcome one and all. It is I, Leda Barnett, the Superstar VTuber, and today, playing Science Carl. We're gonna try and leave Florida again. We've tried and failed like thrice. Our attempts to get out of Siren's Call out of Florida have not been the best, not gonna lie, but that's just Florida for you. That's just life living in Florida for you. But how you doing, Hugs? Thank you for getting first. How's your Sunday? How's Sunday be like? Okay, let's get into the game, shall we? I like that they mentioned that the main character is about as a bass player, and then you can like hear the music he's been playing in the background. Walker. And we haven't seen her eating a burger yet. And 3 parts rotten cantaloupe dropped from the rooftop by skate punks, and half an overpriced burrito shared between lovers at theme parks. To some I'm a hero, but to everyone else, I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to tell. What am I? So it was implied that Ashton is the one who wrote that. Is this right? I kind of went through this already, didn't I? Oh yeah, I guess I was right. Check voicemails. You have 5 new messages. First message. Holy shit. We haven't seen Miss Lawrence's sprite till now, but I can tell that a certain amount of emphasis was put on Miss Lawrence. Miss Lawrence's, if you know what I mean. All right. Don't mess this up, Oliver. That's it. And a message. Next message. Yo, you awake, bro? It's 10. I haven't heard anything from you yet. Everything cool? Pretty sure Andy's gonna be on your ass like a deer tick if she finds out you're sleeping like this. Not like I'd actually tell her anything. I won't do you dirty like that. Just let me buy you a burger or something at Crab Bucket before you head out today, alright? Make sure my old man gave me a day off, so I'll be around here for a bit. So swing by when you can, I guess. Later, dude. And a message. Next message. Captain, if you're sleeping in today, I'm gonna beat you. I swear to God, I'll tenderize your ass like a low-grade steak. Some people are into that. Some people are into that, Andy. I'm kidding. Of course. Are you? Sorry, I know you have trouble with jokes. That was a joke. Coming down to the park though, seriously? We need to exercise. I know you hate water, but bring some with you if you don't want to dry up and die. Or don't, your call. Bye. Next message. Oliver, it's Emil. I'm curious as to when you are planning on returning your copy of A Stranger to the library. I know you're normally on top of these sort of things, but given the circumstances, I'd imagine it's still something that's pretty easy to forget. And, to be frank, non-profit facilities like these need all the help they can get. So make sure you do the responsible thing and return it. Coincidentally, I'll also be there if you would like to discuss anything before you leave. On that note, I'll see you soon. Delete your voicemails. Next message. Oliver, I'm calling because... Oh, never mind. Just have a good time at college. Sorry if I woke you up. I'll hang up now. Bye. End of message. There are no new messages. Yeah, that's about what I expected. Nothing from Violet though. I'm pretty sure I know where she planted herself anytime. I've got time. I shouldn't keep everyone else waiting though. So I wonder if now I can visit Ashton in the morning. Because last time, I wasn't able to see Ashton until it was he was the last option in the day. Yeah, I can see Ashton now. Would I like to skip to the fight of Ashton? Sure. As a reminder, what happened last time? Basically, also I should quick save here. What happened was that they did a Persona-esque adventure and killed their equivalent of the Shadow Realm, and it caused everyone in the town to turn into catatonic zombies. Including Ashton's dad. I'm just gonna run away. We tried fighting him last time, and the response was that Ashton beat our ass. He's better at fighting than we are, apparently. That's right. That was always an option. I don't have to fight him. I don't need to fight him. Even if I could win, what good would come of it? If Ashton is regressing back to his old self, then the only way for me to help him is to not feed into this behavior. I slide past my friend and run out the door of the diner. You're a fucking coward, Oliver! Ashton's voice is close behind me. Oh, what I say next both surprises and excites me. I don't care. I can't help but smile after saying that and hurl myself as hard as I can down the endless gray of the sidewalk. After chasing me around for what feels like an hour, Ashton stops running and collapses onto a nearby bench. I sat down next to him, equally exhausted. Are you sure that's a good idea? I don't care. I can't run anymore. Me neither. Still getting punched. Just give me a bit. For a minute or two, we just sit there, marinating in our own exhaustion. Man, I really worked hard to give this crap up. It got me chasing people down like high school again. So hard. Why don't you just let me have this? I'm not trying to take anything away from you, Ash. I just don't feel great about how I've handled things this summer, that's all. Yeah, so Oliver does not feel like a hero after basically turning everyone into a zombie in the town. You should just keep to yourself, asshole. You forced it out by feeding me all that crap about us being heroes. Kinda hard to keep that much garbage in your system all at once. Damn it. You are so getting punched. I keep looking at the sidewalk as we catch our breath, watching nondescript people do nondescript things. This really sucks. I didn't want it to be like this. Only wanted to hang out for a bit before you left. No, I'm sorry, man. Wasn't trying to bring you down, but couldn't keep acting like I was some great hero or whatever. Doesn't feel real. Ashton shrugs. Real, huh? You know, that kind of thing. That was the kind of thing someone like you even cared about. Oh, well, I guess it was gonna happen eventually. Maybe Vi only wants us to be real about all this because she could tell you were feeling something like that about yourself. Huh? Wait, really? Are you sure about that? A roughish smirk crawls from Ashton's otherwise exhausted face. Pretty sure. After thinking about everything a little more, it makes sense. You weren't speaking for Violet back there. She was speaking for you the whole time. I'm sure she believes a bunch of the stuff about the science herself, but You two still live together, right? We do, but so what? So, she probably saw something eating at you, away at you after everything went down the way it did. And then, after seeing that, she spoke on your behalf. Don't get chewed out in front of everyone. That's surprisingly insightful. What a good girlfriend. It's not surprising, dude. Couples do shit like this all the time. Even my own painfully limited romance experience, I still know that kind of stuff is pretty normal. Oh, wait. Experience? Well, experience might be the wrong word. Forget about it. It's just not important right now. What I'm trying to say is, like, I know I've been giving a lot of crap, giving her lots of crap lately, but Vi's still quite the woman, you know? Take it from me. Most people our age aren't that mature. You're lucky to have someone like that in your life. Someone who's actually into you. So don't screw things up by saying something dumb and making her dump you, alright? I look back out towards the sidewalk. I don't really have much of a say in that anymore, unfortunately. I only agree to date me if we both promise to split up after I leave for college. What kind of agreement is that? Oh, damn, for real? That sucks. I had no idea. Still, he's not the kind of person to make you agree to something that weird just for shits and giggles. There's gotta be a good reason for it. Pretty sure you two aren't the kind of people that are cut out for long distance relationships anyways. No offense. I guess not. That's why you're not gonna get yourself a cell phone either, right? He looks over to me. I take a deep, rejuvenating breath to clear my head. Hey, Ash. Yeah? You're gonna punch me again. I can't get over it with already. I'm not too big fan of delaying the inevitable, you know? I say this and Ashton laughs like a drunken warlord. Oh, really now? Is that so? Nah. Alright, so I'm not gonna hit you. Still hit something though. I'm gonna be real about it. I shouldn't point to a furniture store across the street. Let's go there. I need to buy myself a new pillow anyway. While waiting for a response, Ashton jumps up and starts walking over to the store. Still exhausted, but waking up, I follow after my friend. Ashton and I spent about an hour inside the furniture store. As hasty as he was about getting over there, he seemed pretty deliberate about exactly what kind of pillow he wants to buy. In the end, he picks one made of some sort of memory foam and pays for using the money he was going to spend on our food. We find ourselves somewhere around the park. Him holding the pillow looks so silly. Ashton hovers at the edge of an old dock and stares out over the water. You're right about my dad, by the way. Ever since the end of July, he's been completely different. Fully committed father with no self-destructive tendencies whatsoever. He's perfect. Absolutely perfect. I plant myself next to Ashton at the dock. So, what you said before was true then? Are you really okay with that? Man, I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Works out great for me, obviously. I'm sure he's happy. But it's not like it was ever a real danger to anyone but himself. He may have brooded a bit too much when he was drinking, but it was never completely out of his mind. Hell, forget his mind. Once work was over, he was never even out of the freaking house. I think he knew how dangerous that would have been. Even when he was drunk, he was still a real person. Just still his own man. But now it's like a big chunk of his actual brain is missing. More a cartoon character than a real person now. And good choose everyone to be like that either. I chose for him. I chose for everyone. I think that's what bugs me the most. Ashton squeezes a pillow he bought against the side of his body. Hey, you know all that stuff she said was true? What we did to the brains when we killed that thing. You think it's permanent? I probably shouldn't sugarcoat this. Yeah, it might be. Or at least that's how it's starting to look. You think it's fatal then? Damn, Ash. That's like, I don't know, man. I I sure hope it's not. But even if it is, you shouldn't put all the blame on yourself. If I actually stopped and thought through the consequences of killing sirens, then maybe we could have found a solution that didn't result in something so drastic. But none of us said anything. Not even Violet. In the end, we all wanted to romp around in our brains and be big dumb heroes. So we're responsible for this action, not just you. You know, for a while, we both just sit there, looking out to the water. So if all this stuff is true, I haven't really grown up at all. Still solve all my problems by rushing and beating them down until they aren't problems anymore. But that's how I do things. I haven't really changed, have I? That's not true. There's no way you haven't changed. It doesn't feel like much, but you absolutely aren't the same person you were back in junior year. None of us are. Bullshit, you can't prove that. Well, you aren't shoving a mill into lockers anymore, so that's a start. I mean, okay. No more lockers, Ash. I know it's probably not saying much, but you have way better taste now that you aren't in high school. At least as far as friends go. But is that good enough? One moment. Okay. This is my last summer vacation, Oliver. I have 3 months left, and if all the shit we really did can't be taken back, and at this rate, I'll never be the kind of man I want to be. You know, that's a stupid thing to care about, considering everything that's happened. I'm scared, dude. Scared I'll just keep rushing and making things worse forever. Scared all the cool shit I've done in my life is just fiction. I'm scared I'll never be an actual hero. You know what? I think that's fine. I think that's more than enough that you aren't such a bully anymore. Just enough that you care about your dad and all of us, and wanted to help the town. Even if it backfired, I think it says a lot more about you that you don't want to be the kind of person anymore. And I know we like to throw around the word around a bunch, but I don't even know what being a hero even means. Do you? I mean, I thought I did. But no, I guess not. So fuck it. Fuck being a hero. It's just like you and your dad, right? He didn't have to be imperfect in order for you to love him, so you don't need to be either. As long as you don't become somebody you despise, then I think that's good enough to get you where you need to be. At least for now it is. Huh. Maybe. I don't know what I'm gonna do now that all this is over, though. I mean, the stuff we did in the underworld, or like summer in general? I don't know. Both? Yeah, me neither. Given the circumstances, it'd be a little weird if we did. Wait, really? You really don't know what you're doing. I thought you were only one of us who had it all figured out. Aren't you going to college, my dude? Oh, right. Well, that's what Miss Lawrence says I should do, at least. Or Miss Lawrence says I should do, at least. And Mom and Dad are always on board with all of her ideas anyways, so... No, maybe you should try and give your folks a call or something before you leave. Maybe that would help patch things up? There's no point in me doing something like that. Patched up or not, something's just aren't worth the risk, you hear me? Don't worry, I'm going to college, so that should be more than enough to keep them distracted for a while. Besides, I'm pretty sure I lost their phone number back in June. and contact them even if they wanted me to. And they don't? I'm not worth getting drunk over, Ash. Even if I was, not every father turns into the drink due to all the all-consuming concern of their amazing badass of a son. Some dads, no, some parents are kind of there. Like broken pottery. They don't feel that deeply. They can't hold anything. They just take up space. It's whatever. Right. You're never actually gonna own a cell phone then, are you? Probably not. Figures. You're not coming back once you leave either, right? I don't know what I'm doing after college, to be honest. But, yeah, it's not likely. Not very manly to run away from problems like that, Captain. That makes you look like a coward, doesn't it? What an absolute blessing it is, then, to no longer worry about being a coward. Ashton looks my way and smiles. Oh, as a former coward myself, I don't think I can be friends with someone so wimpy. That might end up rubbing off on me after a while. In the long run, that's way too risky for me and my old man. You know what I'm saying? Ashton stands up and lifts me off the ground with his uninjured hand. Thanks for that. Might be a wimp. You could have got him up by yourself. Don't need to thank me, right? No, I mean, thank you for making this so easy. I was certain that saying goodbye to everyone was going to turn out much, much worse than this. Oh? I hate to break it to you, Oliver, but it's probably not going to be this easy for anyone else. Just be grateful I'm not the type of man to get bogged down by this crap in the first place. Can't say the others will be so cool about it, though. Ashton hooks his arm around my neck and gives me a firm hug. I know you'll figure it out. Just keep it real. Remember what's real. You do remember, right? Thanks for letting me be a part of all this. Stay cool. Fucking wimp. Yeah. Goodbye, Ash. Thank you. Thank you so much. Goodbye, Oliver. Oh, tell Violet said goodbye too, alright? Okay? Okay, will do. Make sure to remind her there's gonna be another launch tonight. Should be around 6:45, I think. Pick somewhere soft to watch it with her this time, alright? Oh, so we should, go to Violet, during the launch time. And journal page number 28 has been recalled. Oh. After saying goodbye to Ashton, I make my way over to the beach, hoping that Violet was still there. Sure enough, she's in her normal spot, painting something on one of her larger canvases. Hey, Derby. Oh, hey there, Olive Oil. I walk over to her and sit next to her in the sand. After a minute or two of painting, Violet reaches a stopping point and looks over me on the ground. I'm gonna skip past the stuff that we've already seen. Wait. You got into some trouble recently, didn't you? Yes and no. Ashton punched me, but it's fine. We worked things out pretty quickly. Weirdly quick, actually. He punched you? Christ on a cracker, why? We just had some disagreements about the Midnight Guard, mostly. But we talked it out. I think he's cool with me leaving now. Violet sighs and places her paintbrush down on a cup of murky water. Okay, I'm gonna need a bit more context than that. Do you think you could elaborate on what you mean by disagreements? I spent the next 30 minutes or so telling her pretty much about everything Ashton and I did today. Violet listens, clear over the moon to have me talking to her normally again. I see then. So if he really forgave you that quickly, then it's likely what happened to at the crab bucket was an extinction burst. Okay, now she's just making up terms. Like persona inflation, extinction burst. There's no way those are actual terms. An extinction burst? Oh wait, where have I heard that before? Miss Wilson's class, she taught us about it last year, remember? It's a period of time when the problematic behavior gets really extreme, right before it gets better. They're more common in children, but for deeply rooted behaviors, extinction bursts can happen in adults too. He keeps saying stuff Ashton didn't want to hear, so he needed to get you to stop talking in order to feel comfortable again. So he tried to solve this problem the only way he knew how. Violet rubs her forehead and sighs. Let me ask you this. You said Ash felt like he was regressing by threatening you, right? Yeah, he kept saying he worked really hard to change who he was. And didn't like that I was making him act like the way he did in high school. And this is right after he was done chasing you? Almost immediately. Right. And he didn't end up punching you a second time like he said he was going to earlier, right? Did he punch anything afterwards? No. All he did was buy himself that pillow and then talked with me for a bit at the park. He didn't punch the... He didn't punch the pillow after he bought it? No, if anything, he spent most of our conversation hugging it. He was hugging it. And then we said goodbye. No bad blood or whatever. That proves it then. Comfort so much of the time, and that's all any of this is ever about. Ashton probably didn't punch anything because there was no longer any value in that behavior. It was no longer something that would bring him comfort or make him feel empowered. So I'm almost certain it was an extinction burst. Is it ethical to be sizing up our friends like this, V? Is it better to ignore how they might be feeling after experiencing something intense? It's not like I can ask Ash how he's really feeling anymore. An educated guess or two is about all I'm capable of at this point. Besides, that's all they are. Guesses. I'm not foolhardy enough to assume my perspective on him is a definitive portrait of reality. Right, of course not. But the two of you are pretty lucky. As far as conflicts between friends go, I think this is probably the best possible outcome. Best? Really? No, there's no way that's true. How come? Well, I spent a second or two trying to put my thoughts into words. Because a longer lasting friendship would be way more helpful to him in the long run. Me ducking out of his life this early isn't exactly doing him any favors. I say this, and Violet moves in closer to me, speaking a voice so quiet I can barely hear her over the sounds of the oceans behind us. You don't really believe that, do you? Olive, don't you know that sometimes a thing is more powerful in the moment right before it dies than it is any other point in his life? Ashton was grateful for you for what you gave him in that moment. And so he gave you what you needed too. None of what you're going through right now is a disaster. It's a gift. It's giving you the chance to move on. Why is Violet always talking about death? I can't tell if she's just goth or a little off. Is that another one of your educated guesses too? She might just be goth. What else could it be?
Well, just clumsy artisans trying our best to sculpt this vague stuff of ours into something coherent. Don't worry too much, Olive Oil. Of all of us, Ashton's probably the best equipped to handle adulthood. Even if he's nervous about it, he's not gonna let anything slow him down. He's just that kind of guy.
The ground around us began to slightly rumble.
No way. Could it be? Could it really be?
I know this feeling, a slow, grumbling force mushrooming up from the south.
Over there, Oliver. Look, look.
Violet points down the beach and starts hopping in place. Sure enough, it's an air rocket. The boys and girls at Cape Kennedy are launching another rocket into space. That's weird. Is it still a little too cloudy for a launch?
Who cares? Look at him go. Look at it go, Oliver. There's nothing on Earth that can stop it now.
As Violet's beloved construct of metal and flame shoots itself into the sky, her fervor fades into a silent wonder. Rockets, huh? You know, I really hate seeing those stupid things just go up like that. But I guess it's fine. It's fine as long as she can be herself again. No matter what I might be feeling right now. I shouldn't let it get in the way. Violet should be allowed to enjoy this moment. She should be allowed to be happy. And that's the only thing that matters to me right now. That's the only kind of justice I think she really needs. Besides, I'm plenty happy right now. It's more than enough just to be able to see her like this. I'm happy. And just to look at her. And then, just like that, it's gone. And our lucky fool has freed himself from Earth's heartless gravity.
Wow, incredible. It's been so long, I completely forgot how amazing those things were. Oh, I wonder if anyone else got to see it. I should call Judith and... Oh yeah, right. Hey, Oliver, I'm really proud of you and everything. But I don't know how the others are gonna end up feeling about this.
Feeling about what?
Ashton letting you go, mostly. It might get kind of pissy once they hear about it. I think they'll have quite the bone to pick with you once they catch wind from him about what happened.
Violet tells me this, and all of a sudden I remember something crucial. So, about that. Funny thing is, after we're done talking, Ash told me that he wanted to say goodbye to you as well. That doesn't make any sense. I'm the one leaving town tonight. You aren't going anywhere, are you? I say this, and Violet's eyes widen in shock. Ooh. Is she leaving? Was there some kind of hidden plan from Violet?
No, I'm not going anywhere. At least not intentionally. Ashton might be though. Shit. It's already starting then. I thought you need more time. Wait, what time is it?
Violet frantically reaches into her bag and pulls out her phone. She fumbles, dropping the phone once or twice into the sand before finally getting it open.
Holy shit, it's already 7? That's not right. It can't be right.
Violet?
We've been talking here too long. Oh, we need to get you home now. Violet stands up and violently jerks me towards her. Wait, what about your stuff? Leave it doesn't matter. I'll be there in the morning anyways, let's go. Why? Just trust me, dude. I mean, look, I'll tell you more when we get home, but right now, we need to run. Please. I do as I'm told, and run as fast as I can back to Violet's house. Violet normally went to trip over her feet, sprints in front of me with precision and purpose. We make it back to Violet's house just 2 minutes before Miss Lawrence was supposed to arrive. Okay, Violet, we're here. Now what the heck is going on? Why is any of this necessary? We could have waited a minute. Violet, hunched over and panting from exhaustion, slides over to me and puts her hands on my shoulders. Oliver, listen to what I'm about to say very carefully. It really doesn't matter if you don't know what's going to happen next. It's fine. That's fine. You don't have to know what's going to happen. Just keep moving forward until you come out the other end. Are you talking about college? Yes, whatever, just listen for a second, okay? I know I said some stuff earlier about taking it slow, but the truth is, you're in way too deep now. You've already made your choice, and now you got pushed through. You reach escape velocity. Hey, they said the name of the game! If you stagnate and end up doing things halfway, you might as well be dead. Wait, what? Things might get a little weird from here on out. And you're probably gonna end up really uncomfortable at times. But stay committed and do what you need to do, not necessarily what you want to do. It's the only way you're gonna be satisfied with what's to come. And once you're done, once you're on the other side, once it's over. Judith hands me a sheet of paper after school. Apparently, her and the rest of the student council want all the seniors to vote on how they want to do graduation this year. Blue or black robes? Black. Category 1 complete. Siren's call. Escape velocity. Alright, let's check out that new entry that we got. Judith called the house this morning while I was eating breakfast. Apparently, she wanted to make sure Violet's on board with her little scheme as soon as possible. When I asked her if she needed me to try and recruit Ash, Andy, and Emil too, she said I shouldn't worry about it, and that cloying tone she uses whenever she makes the morning announcements at school. I have no doubt that Miss President would be able to win over the rest of our group, so I guess it makes sense that all she needs me to do is talk to Violet. Still, I kind of wish there was more expected of me. Guess we'll see how it goes. It didn't go well. I barely said anything on the ride over. I hadn't seen Violet since Saturday, and she was wearing that cute black thing around her neck with the curls. I thought she only wore that on Friday. I couldn't focus, it was like my brain forgot how she looked. I had to recalibrate or something. Miss Lawrence was making all kind of weird insinuations on the ride over too. Did you have fun at the party? Etc. Did she know what happened? Maybe I'm just reading into things. Regardless, it's freaking stressful. I didn't even get a chance to talk to her after we got out of the car either. Ash practically dive-bombed us. I'll try again after third period. We took the long way to our fourth period class, and I spilled the beans to Violet about our master plan. She agreed to it, but kept saying things like, it's sad we have to, and it sucks I won't be able to do this on my own, stuff like that. She kept fiddling with her helmet, too, to made me nervous for some reason. I don't think she really wants our help, but when I told her I'd be willing to back off, she just grabbed my hand and started playing with it. Oh, this is her plan to
to forge Violet's paperwork or schoolwork in order to get her to graduate. That's right. Then she said something about how couples help each other, and so it's probably fine. I asked her if we were a couple now, and she said, obviously. Holy shit. Yep. Judith managed to sweet talk the rest of the crew into helping Violet. They're completely on board now. Even Andy. I'm thrilled. But how the hell does she even work that fast? How does she always know exactly what to say to win someone over? I guess that's why she's the queen of Siren's call. Can't really be royalty without being able to appeal to the masses. We're apparently all going to meet up with her in the house today, once school's over, and hash things out. I don't see why we couldn't have just done that at lunch, but it's fine by me. The less time at home, the better. We just got to discussing a plan of attack and are now taking one of Judy's famous and mandatory snack breaks. Her and Emil spent most of the meeting reassigning all of Violet's work based on our academic skills. And they also gave us a rough estimation of how much each of us has to do in addition to whatever work we have from our own classes. Also got to spend a few hours each day trying to copy Violet's handwriting until it's completely indistinguishable from hers. For some reason, everyone says my attempts at mimicking her are already good enough. I tried to tell them that the I's and T's are still a little off, but I got stuck with the job of coaching everyone anyway. Youth asked us all one last time if they were prepared to commit to this, reiterating that we'll likely be working well into the night every day for next month to try and make this happen. Nobody objected. I got a feeling that Violet might wanted to, but she didn't say anything. Now, all we need for this little study group of ours is a name. We'll be working every day till midnight, right? In that case, I've got something that might work. Make sure to run it by Judith as soon as we're done snacking. Oh, this is how they came up with the name of the Midnight Guard. And this is how they all got together as a group in the first place. Cute. Alright. The Dawn is your enemy. What does that even mean, Judith? I did not take her for a night owl. No one wants to go the way you did. Every switch inside of you was flipped. The small light bulb of your existence cracked with whimper, frothing thunder. Frothing. None of us will make it to heaven. Category 2. Oliver and I move a caravan of toy trains through the sand. Oh, who's this point of view from? I'm gonna guess it's Judith because they're like childhood friends.
We have an established system of play. You build some kind of legendary mountain and I drive a fistful of locomotives through this grainy makeshift world. Afterwards, there's always a devastating explosion. He screams a shrill, piercing scream of what I can only assume is joy. Dolly's kid here is one defective little robot. So it's the same shit every time. Always a mountain, always a train, always sand. Always a devastating explosion that gets all over my damn shoes. Always a mountain, always a train, always sand, always an explosion. Always a mountain, always a train, always sand, always an explosion, always a mountain, always a train, always sand, always a mountain, always a train, always sand. We repeat this cycle in infinitum until a rather large blast shoots some sand into the poor kid's eyes. That hurts. It hurts so much. Help me, Dad, help. Yes, for my help.
Oh, it's his dad. It's his dad.
And so I take my boy by the hand and feed his quivering form to the ocean. Salt water we use to flush out the sand is unusually cold for a summer, but it does the job just fine. He screams his normal scream now. Whatever. Boys gotta learn sometimes, and there's only one way to do things. Might as well learn it now. Experiential education, all that. Because only his face is drenched, and his vision is clear, that we can truly begin to understand each other. And after all, the water cleans everything. The water cleans everything. Hey Dad, if someone really loves you, then why would they leave you? If they really love you, why would they leave? Dad? Oliver. Emil stands before me against the backdrop of a choppy, volatile ocean. His expression, though normally composed and confident, is one of a nervous child. Emil? Wait, where's Ashton? Exactly. He left us here. He left Siren's call without even a day's notice. Like none of us even mattered to him in the first place. Huh? That's why I called you here. I can't make any sense of this by myself. Emil pulls out a small white envelope out of his pocket. To my knowledge, Andy and Judith received one as well. Did you or Violet happen to get one perchance? I don't know. I never get the mail. That's normally something Violet does after she takes evening meds. I suggest you read this carefully. Really look over it too. I was hoping you were able to spot something I might have missed. For Emil, to even imply there's something he cannot solve about my health, it must be humbling. The way he's speaking as if he earnestly desires my perspective almost reminds me of Violet in a way. I give him a decisive nod before grabbing the letter. A sheet of red construction paper limply hangs out at the top. I do as I told and began reading it carefully. No way. I look over the note a few more times. It's clearly written by Ashton. The handwriting, grammar, spelling all imply as much. Even so, this doesn't make any sense. It says he went to college. That seems out of character. Wait, did Ash ever talk about college? Not to my knowledge, no. College wasn't something he seemed even remotely interested in. What about his dad? Do you think he knew anything? Apparently he moved on as well. Are you serious? Why would I lie about this? Emil's eyes dilate with panic, leaving no room for anything resembling deception. What's more, they didn't bother locking the door to their house. There's no furniture, no beer cans, no garbage. Was there any food left in the fridge? Emil began gesturing to himself like he's frantically trying to stuff his words into some kind of invisible box. His phone number hasn't been working either. It just vanished. No signs of struggle, no signs of life at all. Just gone, like the universe simply didn't have a need for them anymore. Emil is even trying to look composed at this point. His demeanor is that of a mad scientist clawing at the air for some vital answer that's barely out of reach. What about the underworld? Could this be our fault somehow? Is there any strange activity happening back there? No, I've already checked. The back side of the locker is still barren. Even where Ashton's house would have been? Maybe a really powerful siren made him sleepwalk or something. Was there any sign of siren activity at all? I've looked everywhere for him. There was nothing. Oliver, you're only recommending things I've already considered. Give me something new to work with, please. Emil isn't acting like he's supposed to. He's panicky, clearly reaching the limits of his desperation. I look over the letter one last time. Is it weird that he isn't even saying what college he's going to? He just says, I'm heading out to college. There's no clues to his actual destination. You can't even tell if he's going out of state or not. So maybe college is a clue word for something else? If you compared your note with Judy's or Andy's, maybe there's the kind of message here that he didn't want anyone else to see. A splash of color returns to Emil's eyes. He snatches the slip of red paper from my hand and begins frantically looking it over. Do you think Ashton is capable of something like that? Maybe? Who knows? Maybe it's not that complicated. Maybe we just need everyone else to make sense of it. Did you read the note Andy and Judy got? No, not yet. I was a bit of a frenzy after reading mine, so I'm sad to admit. Well, if your hypothesis is correct, then their notes alone will be enough to decrypt a hidden message. We would need Violet's note as well, wouldn't we? Do you have any idea as to where her whereabouts are? No, I actually haven't seen her today. In fact, this is when it hits me. An extremely obvious detail that I should have been immediately cognizant of. The detail that has turned this otherwise mundane environment into something deadly. Like stepping into quicksand during a morning jog. And much like a carefree jogger falling into quicksand, I immediately began to panic. She's normally right here. She's normally here at the beach, right where you're standing. This isn't right. She's supposed to be here. Where is she? Heartless gravity pushes me deep into the starving earth. I can feel the sand folding over my toes. It clings to my skin like a parasite. If this keeps up, if I stay here any longer, I'm gonna end up being useless to her again. I have to get out of here. I have to find Violet. Oliver? I sprint away from Mill and head up the boardwalk. I hear him shouting something like, "Have her call me immediately," as I reach the top of the stairs. You might have to wait a little bit on that one, dude. Journal page number 30 recalled. Alright, well, let's try Judith's house first. I kind of wish that they did a nighttime CG for these. I know that's like extra costs, but it looks weird like during the daytime. Also, let's check out a new journal entry that we got. Violet asked me all sorts of things I want out of our, what sorts of things I want out of our relationship. This is kind of a big question, so I asked her if I could just write down what I thought and gave it to her later. Not only does she give me shit for that, but she also told me she'd write down what she wants as well. Amazing. Why does everyone just do things this way? It seems easier, like, if things are written down, then they're much more real than a couple of vague sounding sounds flying through the air. Way more real. Called my list easy and cute. She said it was already stuff she was planning on doing with me anyway. I guess I mostly just want to keep hanging out with her like I have been. Though with some of this, more of this new stuff thrown in too. I guess it's easy, but I don't get why it's cute. It doesn't seem cute. She asked me why I didn't put sex on my list. I told her I didn't even know if we were writing it down. She said something about how the fact I thought about writing it was good enough. Good enough? I'm writing down her list just in case I lose the original. I'm gonna go on more walks. Just us. Can I have a cat at some point? Don't worry about me being a vegetarian. Eat your meat. Hug me in public. Sex doesn't have to be in public. Smiley face. Fun nicknames. Let me take off my helmet every now and then. Catch me if I fall, if you're able to. If I die, don't wait up. Go with Judith? Holy shit. There's some landmines thrown in there for sure. I asked about that last one. She said it was... You like her too, right? I never thought spoken words can carry that kind of power. Now all I can think about is that if I'm being stupid here. Is it stupid for me to be with someone who knows me this well? Or is it stupid for me not to be? I guess there's only one way to know for sure. Speaking of Judith, I frantically knock on the front door, hoping with every bit of me that Violet answers. Hey! Pajama CG. Nice. Right. Judith, a true domestic goddess, is right where I assumed she'd be. So that's consistent at least. Oliver, you're here early. Is it because of... No, it's because Ash left town. Quick, I don't have a lot of time. Have you seen Violet today? No, I haven't. I've mostly been texting Emil about what happened. Crap. Oh, well, if you see her, could you two put aside your bullshit and just hang out here for a bit? Or... Bullshit? Yes, Judy, you're mutual, very real, not important at all bullshit. Violet could be in serious danger. I don't know exactly what's happening, but if Ash disappeared, then so could she. So please, if you see Violet, just keep her safe, alright? After my pleas, Judith, hospitable as ever, drops a clueless axe and speaks candidly. Of course, Oliver, whatever you want. If I run to her, I'll do my part to make sure she's safe. Assuming I don't go and disappear myself, you know. Cool, great, thank you. Wow, wow, blew her off immediately. I gave Judith the reassuring thumbs up before sprinting back to the sidewalk. Would the library even be open at this time? That's right. The mill was at the beach when he should have been at the library. Isn't there a real possibility that she was here instead? What? Are your friends not allowed to be in the same spot at once? I look over to where Emil normally would be waiting for me. Oh shit. He was right. And sure enough. Why does she look a bit more than usual in this art, you know? And sure enough, there she is, sitting at Mill's normal spot, calm as moonlight. She's thumbing over a page of a dusty looking book, most likely one she just pulled off the shelf. Seeing her this peaceful. She really wanted to show off her Mills. She wanted to show off her Mill impression, surely. As if things were normal as ever, fills me with bizarre, almost spiritual rage. Where have you been? Oliver, you're shouting. We're in a library. Keep it down. I was shouting? I didn't even realize. Right. Sorry about that. I guess it just got a little worked up. Oh, new outfit for her. I like the transparency on it. Violet, you got confused for a sec? Yeah, no, I get it. As I move closer, Violet finally looks up from her book. Surprised I'm not at the beach, right? How strange it is that a rather small change in routine can result in such incendiary greeting from my lover. You're dysregulated, right? That's the term for it? Jeez, this sounds so clinical when I say it out loud like that. I know she probably has no reason to, but I can't help but feel that Violet is mocking me somehow. Still, I was able to table that feeling and take a deep meditated breath, attempting to collect my thoughts. I was just worried about you. Because Because Ashton went to college. You didn't know where I was, so you assumed something similar or worse happened to me, correct? A perfectly understandable conclusion. And Violet pulls out a red slip of paper from her back pocket and hands it to me. But as you can see, I'm doing just peachy. So you don't need to worry anymore. Nothing good will come from panicking after all. I read over her copy of Ashton's letter, slowly, combing over the words for anything distinct. However, it's no different from Mills. No different at all. I don't get it. What does this mean? It means he went to college, Oliver. I wouldn't overthink it too much. Ashton was probably ready to move on, and so that's what he did. It's not like there was anything left to challenge him in Siren's call, right? So why wouldn't he leave? I hand Ashton's letter back to Violet, who gingerly places it in her back pocket. I just didn't think he'd be the kind of guy to do something like that. I thought he wanted to keep living here, you know? And keep on working with his dad, keep hanging out with his friends. I mean, I'm sure that's probably what he wanted. But doesn't that sound a bit too predictable for someone like Ashton? Might be fulfilling enough for a year or two, but then what? I can't imagine him being satisfied with that kind of life for long. Violet clearly doesn't seem upset. One of her closest friends just left without even saying goodbye. She doesn't even seem fazed by it. You knew this was going to happen, didn't you? I had a feeling, yeah. How? Did Ashton tell you something beforehand? Nope. Like I said, I had a feeling. People can't avoid what they need forever. And Ashton is clearly the kind of man who needed to get the hell out of Dodge. Everything about this, even right down to how he left, was inevitable. And I don't blame him for in the slightest. After all, there was nothing left in Siren's call that needed to be, to protect. Isn't that right, college boy? Violet passed down on my head, messing with my hair in the process. Did you cut that out? I pushed her playful hand away from my body. Look, Mill's actually pretty devastated about this right now, alright? I don't think I've ever seen him so blindsided. Even if Ashton really didn't want to stick around, I'm kind of worried how Mill's gonna manage without him. Oh, you think so? What makes you sure he didn't know Ashton was gonna leave in the first place? Didn't Mill straight up lie to you back on the beach? What did you just say? Mill lied to you on the beach, didn't he? And why would he lie to you unless there was something he was trying to cover up? Wait, you didn't notice? Well, you might not have noticed, but your brain absolutely did. Violet lets out a mischievous giggle. Violet, that's a pretty rotten thing to say. You weren't even there. Emil was completely freaking out. Like, he said he was way too desperate for my help to do something like that. So there's no way... Emil... He didn't lie to me. Nope, he definitely did. Whether you're able to remember exactly what he lied to you about is fairly moot, however. The point is, he lied, even if you weren't aware of it, which means what Ashton did probably wasn't too much of a surprise for good old Mill. I bet they all knew something like this was going to happen too. It's likely not just me. I'd even go so far to wager that is why Ashton didn't tell any of us in the first place. After all, you can't be talked out of leaving if you leave before anyone else can even notice. Isn't that right, Oliver? Come on, V. You're not making any sense. How did you even know we were at the beach? Did you meet up with Mill beforehand, or... No, Oliver. You're overthinking things again. The truth is much simpler than that. Of course Emil would be at the beach. Isn't he normally here at the library? It's basic definite reason. I'm here, so naturally he met you with you at the beach instead.
I don't understand.
Again, you might not understand, but your brain does. Just trust me on this, I'm only trying to help you after all. You're not like the rest of us. It's important that you formulate an idea of what might happen next. Otherwise, you'll end up coming too stressed to function. And then you'll probably never be able to leave.
Oh, what's with those eyes, Violet? What's with those eyes? Violet? You're scaring me. What the hell are you even talking about?
Oliver? If everybody else was planning on convincing Ashton to stay in Siren's call, there's probably a pretty good chance they'll attempt the same thing with you as well. They're even going to try and manipulate you, just like how Mill was manipulating you at the beach. They'll use whatever methods that can pull you back down to their level, like crabs in a bucket. Then again, who knows what they'll actually end up trying to do. Knowing them, it could be anything.
The way Violet's speaking is nauseating. Every word she is saying seems to root itself in my stomach, pulling out my throat like a grapevine. I instinctively buckle over, kneeling like a child on the floor in front of her.
Oh, you're dysregulated again, aren't you? That makes sense.
That makes sense. I'm feeling pretty strange myself, not gonna lie.
Maybe it's because of all these books, but I feel like even being here is sculpting my brain into something brilliant. Is this what Emil feels like when he's here? Is it? Oh well, who knows how other people feel, am I right?
Please, stop talking, Violet. Please, go back to how you should be.
Hey, I know. Maybe we should take a break and give ourselves some time to reset and whatnot.
She bends down and cups the sides of my damp face with her overwhelmingly soft hands. Please, stop touching me. Please.
What do you think about that, college boy?
It's in this moment that my brain boils over completely, as if Violet's palms were glazed with some sort of deadly venom. The last thing I see are fluorescent lights of a public library, the ideal archetype for sensory hell. Journal page 31 has been recalled. Pizza or subs for rehearsal dinner? Who eats sandwiches for dinner? No, pizza. Sandwiches are lunch and breakfast only. Look at the crazy eyes. Was Violet always this abstruse or even this tall? That looks like it's done by another artist, not gonna lie. I know this is a remaster of the base game, so I'm guessing that was like an original CG from the original game or something like that. It's standing way too close. All right, I'm gonna take a small break to get some water, drink, and go bathroom. So we'll do a quick BRB, and then we'll come back with what I'm guessing is Judith's section. All right, BRB. Okay, we're back. Oh, it got like really weird at the end. That like paper mache filter. My friend breaks bottles over her muscles, as if she could become a jagged floor and make a better home beneath her skin. To understand her rash and loud attempts at saying, I'm fine, I'm strong. Category 3, Andy. I guess it's time to go. Oh, say goodbye to your friends. Check voicemails. You have one new message, Oliver. First message. Hey there, Oliver. It's Mom. Violet's mom, obviously. I'm calling to let you know that as of late, Violet hasn't been using her phone as much as she should. Normally, she at least texts me after she's taken her meds, but I received nothing for about a day or two. I don't know why she's even deviating from her routine like this, but it's unacceptable. I don't mean just for her. Olive, dear, I hope you are aware I didn't permit you to live with my daughter for the sole reason of bolstering your own vain romantic interests. I picked you because I assumed you were the best person for the job. If I'm not there, then you need to do your part to keep her on track. I understand the impulse to be young and stupid, but I have systems in place for a reason. If you're not there to protect her, then what good are you? Look, and don't worry about calling me back. I'll likely be en route by the time you get this message. Just make sure she doesn't hit her head and we're fine. And for fuck's sake, ever do the dishes before I walk through that door? The girl cooks way too much for her own good. Interesting. It says, also, she's not taking her meds. Violet's silver brick of a cell phone sits atop her desk. She's taking another step into isolating herself, it seems. That, or she just forgot to grab it on her way out the door. Either way, I won't force it upon her. I won't force anything on her. Surely nothing bad happened with her not... Huh? Island is weird. Andy and I ran down the sidewalk like normal, breathing the damp Florida air into her exhausted body. You're getting slower lately, aren't you? Run like you mean to scrub, run like your life depends on it. She's especially cruel today for some reason, and it's really starting to get on my nerves. I'm obviously trying my best, Andy. Cold already. We'll get back to the park soon enough like we always do. Andy faces me and lunges her in, lungs pushing against the membrane of her chest like the pistons of a well-tuned engine. It's only after staying perfectly still does it become obvious to me what an imposing figure she is. Even so, she's acting like a brat and I won't be intimidated. Like we always do, huh? Nope. Today's gonna be different. We're going hard. No, we're not, Andy. It's my last day in town. We're not changing things up. I'm calling it Captain's orders. Freaking wrong! Oliver briskly walks over to an old wooden table that was left on the side of wood. After a deep breath, she shatters it into bits with one decisive blow. Jesus Christ, Andy, what the hell?
You clearly need some motivation, so that's what I'm gonna give you. Start running, Oliver.
She picks up a chunk of wood from the shattered remains of the table and waves over her head.
She can't be serious. Here I come.
Oh crap, she's serious. Holy shit, holy shit. I practically trip over myself sprinting away from Andy. Only after a minute of going as hard as I possibly can does it become obvious that she'll eventually catch up to me if I keep running in a straight line. What we were really thinking, make a sharp left and climb over a chain link fence into someone's front yard.
Not funny, Andy. This is mutiny, you know. I don't care. How else am I supposed to know if you're prepared or not?
I pushed myself over an air fence, unapologetically dashing through backyard after backyard.
Dumb wrestling contest? I don't know. Just leave me alone. I can't. I need to know if you can handle something like this. Please, I need you to keep running. Show me that you're strong enough to leave.
I'm too tired to continue yelling at her anymore, so I convert all my remaining energy into moving forward. Eventually, I reach a metal wall that's clearly too large for me to jump over. I leap as high as I possibly can, my hands barely grabbing the top. As I begin to climb my way up, I feel something heavy slam into the base of my spine. Ah! But I don't understand. She was still so far away. Did she throw that chunk of wood at me? The pain's so intense that my hands give out completely. I fall to the ground and land directly on my back, pushing almost all the air out of my lungs. Jesus Christ, Andy. Also, what is up with the sun? Why is it turning into like Dark Souls 3 up there? Andy stands over me, disappointed looking silhouette in her face. You know what? No, that's just how Florida is. I forgot. Florida is Yarnum and regularly falls under eldritch eclipses. Andy stands over me, a disappointed look silhouetting her face.
You failed. Now any number of terrible things could happen to you, Oliver. What's to stop me from killing you in a cold blood right now? What's to stop me from dragging you back to my basement and torturing you for weeks and weeks until your mind shatters like a damn China doll? You weren't strong enough to live. Now you belong to nature. And nature belongs to me. What? I don't want you to die like that. Why? Why do you be so selfish, Oliver? Why don't you care about living? Why don't you fight back? Why am I so bad at my job? Why? Why? Why?
What the fuck's been going on with Andy? Yeah, Judith's house is in the sea right now. Oh, Judith Lass. All right, let's check out those new journal entries. We met as a midnight guard for the first time today. I can tell this coaching stuff is going to be obnoxious. I'm trying my best to articulate mimicking Violet's handwriting to Ash and Andy. But it's tough putting physical stuff like that into words. Violet's been working on her own stack of papers, so she almost has no chance to step in and help me explain. Thankfully, Emil and Judy are quick learners, so there's that at least. They'll get it eventually. I just have to be patient. Ash just threw his notebook in the pool before jumping in, clothes and all. The rest of us are taking a snack break right now. While Ash's clothes dry, he has to wait in the bathroom. Just stay patient, Oliver. Just stay patient. If Andy draws one more fucked up looking S, I'm gonna murder someone. Why does she make the lower half of it wider? How many times do I have to tell her it hooks at the bottom? Is she just doing this to mess with me?
Patience. Patience is key.
Due to our name, the six of us finished well past midnight. Feels like I just made basically no progress today. But Mills said if things keep going this way, we'll meet our deadline easily. I don't know what he's seeing that I'm not, but I trust him. I guess Andy's S's do look a little cleaner at least. Or maybe I just want to sleep on a positive note. I know I can do this. We can do this. She'll make it to college. Ash had to be a couple hours late for our meeting today. Apparently, his dad had another one of those low days he's been having, and Ash didn't feel comfortable leaving him alone. I noticed these episodes of his are becoming more frequent as the closer we've been getting to May. Violet says it could be a precursor to something called empty nest syndrome. She didn't elaborate. She just says it has something to do with graduation being such a family event. Ashton's mom being dead is probably taking its toll again. Andy just thinks the man is an worthless deadbeat. Ah, so Violet already knew that Ashton was getting ready to leave college. Mill calls the rest of them nosy. I don't know what to think though. Every time I've interacted with Fred, he's been really nice. He brags about every little thing Ashton does or has done. Points to old surf trophies above their fireplace that Ashton and his mom won back then. Tells a story about them while Ash chops potatoes in the kitchens. He talks about how great his boy is at customer service. It's all stuff Ash is probably embarrassed about, but never fights him on. Even though he fights with us basically everything. Maybe there's just something here I'm not seeing. Ash sees it though. He tells us a long time ago that's why he started working at B Mobile. Said it was easier to keep him from doing something stupid. Makes me wonder. Is it better to have a father that obviously loves their child, but hates himself? Or a father who has so much conviction in their own parenting techniques that their child's love is an inconsequential factor? I don't know. But part of me wonders what it's like to be bragged about like that. Maybe the embarrassment that follows is one of those secret little luxuries of life. Even if it's just embarrassment, that's probably fine too. Something weird just happened. It's only 9 and Ash has already mastered Violet's handwriting. Didn't give me any trouble either, he just did it. Now that's left is Andy and we can move on to some of Violet's actual work. Andy's done now too. I have no words. 0 words. I don't have to catch Coach anyone on Violet's handwriting anymore. So I started working on my first big assignment for the Midnight Guard today. It's an essay for English class on the value of fiction. I get tasked with most of her English stuff for some reason. Essays are gonna be tricky. I can't let myself show too much into language, otherwise it won't sound like Violet. They'll probably just whip up something impossible for a teacher to argue against, like, we've been telling stories for as long as humanity has been around, blah 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 blah, so there's almost no risk of her being found out. Honestly though, I've never really enjoyed writing fiction. I know Emil and I are seriously start working on something together once summer starts, but it'll be more of a job for me than anything else, I'm sure. Obviously, fiction has value, but when the primary goal of a piece of writing is to craft a world and immerse the reader in it, there are just some things that are forced into the backseat. Yeah, once the characters are drafted, the logic of the world's works, the modes are implied, etc, 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 then you can start actually having fun. But who has time for all that? Poetry, on the other hand, is quick and dirty. If you have something you want to figure out about your life, it only takes a little bit of setup before you're able to snuff out what you're after. With fiction, you have to make an entire second world just to help the world you live in make a bit more sense. It just seems circuitous. There's too many clothes you have to put on just before you can even leave the house. Poetry is naked though. It's honest, it makes sense. I'm not too sure how much lucidity a long drawn out lie would provide for me. Again, the stuff we're doing for Violet is kind of like a lie. Maybe fiction isn't as bad when you're building it up for other people. Or with other people. If anything, I imagine it's less work. How many of these entries do I have unlocked? I got a call from Judith this morning saying I need to bring my swimsuit when we all go over to her house today. Apparently, her and Andy's worked out some sort of deal. And her and Andy worked out some sort of deal, and the deal involves us spending one of our breaks every day exercising at the pool instead of sitting around eating cookies. Not gonna lie, this stuff is hard enough as already. I'm not looking forward to an exercise regimen on top of all the extra work. Still, I guess if things go poorly enough, we'll only have to do this once. Maybe. Andy is a genius. Well, in her own way, I guess. I didn't realize how tense I was just sitting around eating in between work sessions until I stopped doing it. Our second break was a snack break, and I don't know, this time it felt like waiting at a bus stop or something. All I could think about was where I had to go. When I was in the pool, I couldn't think of anything about anything but swimming. It's like Andy kept us just busy enough to not be distracted. Was that her plan? I thought she was just being obsessive and wanted to get back to her old routine. But turns out one of the benefits of being obsessive is, you know, and the exact situations is one of the benefits of being obsessive is you know exact situation your particular obsession is useful in. Judy and Emil have done a lot to hammer out the logistics of this initiative, but when it comes to the matters of the body and the heart, maybe that's something we should get in the habit of asking Andy about. We should acknowledge what makes her different from us. We should use it. Maybe that's what it means to actually work as a team. Okay, caught up. It's no secret I'm not as smart as I wish I could be. Sure, my grandmother always said I was technically a genius, but I'd never seen the test scores myself, so I've been able to substantiate such a bold claim. It's something she could have easily... Why is Emil's name falling off the UI? There it goes. Bye, Emil. That feels symbolic somehow. It's something she could have easily lied about, though. I'm sure the scores are still floating around amongst her things, but at this point, I'm too afraid to look. This is his name. Okay, his name still shows up as Emil. Even if they're higher than average, I'm almost positive that they're completely outdated by now. I already know I've grown dumber over time. And besides, everyone I really care about has been tricked into thinking I matter, so why risk it? If I'm lucky, this will be one of those lies that slowly turns into the truth. Like how Andy enjoys doing pull-ups. Like the implication of those cheap novelty glasses of mine give off. And if I'm not that lucky, well, then I only hope I died dumb enough to forget all of this was a lie in the first place. Yeah, I noticed that he's no longer wearing his glasses. Okay, let's vid our favorite. Judith will be totally normal at this time. Alright, let's check out that new journal entry. Violet asked me if I wanted to go with her to the prom. I didn't even get a chance to ask her first. She popped a question on me the exact moment I got in the car. So I got to be the cool guy for once and told her I already got us tickets. It's gonna be a good day. I can feel it in my bones. My bones are liars. Every last one of them. I know Miss Lawrence probably overheard Violet and my plans for prom while she was driving to school. But I figured she wouldn't care for some reason. However, I neglected to figure out how much of a fucking idiot I am. When I went in for my Monday afternoon speech therapy session with her, I had a list waiting for me that I needed to sign if I was to demon away her daughter to prom, whatever that means. So she works as a speech therapist at a school. Here's a bridge version of what I had to agree to so I won't forget myself and get myself killed. You're paying for dinner, but you need to ask her where she wants to eat at least 3 days in advance. Tell her she looks beautiful. The first 3 times are mandatory, but after that you only need to tell her whenever the thought pops in your head. I don't care if people make fun of her for it. Don't let her take off the helmet. There's only one of her in the entire world, remember that. Ooh. This is a big thing that was on the list from Violet. So, obviously. Surely she kept the helmet on and nothing is wrong. And the fact that every time we see Violet without her help has been her without her helmet is not foreshadowing at all. You're paying for any hotels too, obviously. Don't walk to them. If you can't afford a cab, I'll drive you. Wow, she's rather flippant about that one. And for goodness sake, use the condom. Please, 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 please have her call me if anything happens or you think anything is going to happen. Have lots of fun. What's up with his family and lists? Foreshadowing is a literary device. We'll do these two later. Judith and I are watching a movie together like normal when snacking on some powdered macarons. It's just so freaking good, Judith. What's your secret? How do you keep making these things that are consistently delicious? Judith giggles in her typical way. Oh, Oliver, don't you know that flattery will get you everywhere? There's no secret. Baking isn't even that hard. The key to consistent baking is simply understanding how all the ingredients interact with each other. Thankfully, sugar and almond flour aren't that complicated. It's not like with real people where you pretty much have to guess what the reactions are going to be, right? Consistent baking is nothing more than simple chemistry. And as I'm sure you know, chemistry is something I'm very, very good at. And Judith grabs a dark macaron off the table and moves it towards my lips. My mouth can't help but open under such a light pressure. And she slowly pushes the cookie in with her index finger. Speaking of chemistry, do you know why eating chocolate feels so intoxicating? There's actually a chemical distinction that gives it a pretty clear competitive advantage over other sweets. And what might that be? Judith smiles before taking a gentle bite out of all my unfinished cookies. Simply put, chocolate is an aphrodisiac. An aphro what? She bursts out laughing and puts the cookie down on the table, sliding her way over to my ear in the process. Means it makes you want to fuck. Makes sense, doesn't it? Feeling like love and lust are nothing more than chemicals after all. And I'm very good at chemistry, Oliver. Very, very good. Did Judith drug us? Are we having a bad trip? Is that why we keep going through this like time loop stuff? I think Judith might have drugged us. Fuck suits. I hate suits. I hate the way they feel. I hate the way they smell. It's like I'm walking all around with a big cardboard box glued to my body. People really enjoy this crap? Even after Judith found me one that I could actually move around in, I just dishonest. It was black, a boring, holier than thou look. Black. I didn't feel like me wearing it. I'm not that cool. But isn't this something I'm supposed to actually put thought into? So why black? Why suits? If I'm gonna wear something for Violet, I want her to be able to see that. I want to know that I'm thinking of her and not just parading around as some self-righteous dude bro. I want her to know that I'm doing this for her. I've been in the bathroom writing this for about 10 minutes now. If I wait much longer, Judy's probably gonna start worrying about me. But I need to think of something. I want to get something back home that I could wear instead. That thrift store is the only place nearby that sells shit I can actually afford. Wait a minute. I took a risk and showed Judy what I just wrote just now. I think that was enough to convince her we should make our own suit for prom. We have cosplays after all. So it's not like she's any stranger to piecing together an outfit out of odds and ends from around town. She wrote down some ideas for what we'd need to make a suit that speaks to Violet while we were eating lunch. This seems much more enjoyable than renting overpriced clothes from some chode at the mall. If Judith goes as hard at this as she does with any of her other projects, I have nothing to worry about. She's outside right now making calls to some of the thrift stores she regulars. With any luck, they'll have what we need. Judy's a genius. Yeah, the fingerless gloves are kind of overkill, but everything else is super cozy. I'm pretty sure all of this purple says everything I need to say. Not exactly how I was planning on spending my Sunday, but it's always nice to see Judith make something out of nothing. Now all I've got to do is run this stuff by Violet and we'll be good to go.
Judith? My muse, Venus, might not be able to fight in a traditional sense, but she can still help you guys out by offering a wide range of buffs and debuffs in battles. But how exactly do these status changes work in a psychological sense? Well, as with most things, it's going to be explained through basic understanding of chemical components, as well as their effect on the body over time.
She reaches out of the table, pulling out a test tube rack filled with powdery substances of varying colors.
These samples were extracted from Venus last night. From a purely cellular standpoint, they essentially function like haploids and are released into air by my muse. Not unlike spores of mushroom, really. However, unlike mushroom spores, these haploids have several unique characteristics that make them ideal for a combat setting. First is the method of transfer. Unlike somewhat lax dispersal of traditional spores, these cells are shot out in a concentrated stream of compressed air. This allows Venus to essentially target whoever is being buffed or debuffed. Secondly, the haploid cellular membrane dissolves instantly after coming in contact with almost any oily surface, namely the skin. This way, the buffs Venus gives you always work. But depending on the enemy's physiological makeup, debuffs might not be effective at all. What's more, the membrane of Venus's haploid cells is coated with a powdery substance that's completely unique to her. I'm still looking into it, but I'm pretty sure this powder will rapidly expedite your metabolic rate. In layman's terms, these buffs are all fast-acting and most effective in all types of organisms. Which brings me to the third distinction. This one. This one's really something, Olive. Instead of genetic material, these haploids carry fast-acting chemical components that affect the target almost immediately after making contact with the skin. Stimulants, analgesics, hallucinogens. It really doesn't matter. Venus can get out of your system. It into your system as soon as I'm aware that you're in trouble. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that sweet that I can drug you hallucinogenically from a distance?
She begins pulling out test tubes and holding them up for me to see. First up is a glass tube of hot pink powder.
Epinephrine, also known as adrenaline, a common stimulant. Works best on Ash and Andy, boosts offensive power and evasion, a classic buff. Next up is a vial filled to the brim with light blue powder. This is the one I always end up having to use on the mill. It's basically morphine, mostly. Nothing too special, it's pretty much there to make sure you can take a hit or two without falling over. She grabs a lime green test tube and holds up to the light, grinning. Your mother, Dolly, is familiar with this one, I'm sure. Dimethyltryptamine, or more commonly referred to as DMT. Very popular with the sit on the beach and think about our place in the universe crowd. For obvious reasons. I tend to avoid using such strong psychedelics against our enemies. Can you imagine if I misfired something like this and hit one of you instead? It would be an absolute disaster. Still, it's there if we ever need to trap something in its own mind for a couple minutes or so. Of course. To them it would have felt like they were trapped in there for a couple of months. Such a strange debuff. Anyway, I'm sure you get the point. Venus shoots chemicals and those chemicals do stuff. I hope by now it's clear how useful I can be to you. So still, please start trusting me a little more?
How fun and quirky she is. Sure, let's pop by Jodo's house. Wait, didn't we already do this? Oh, this is different. Interesting. They're repeats. Alright, I'm gonna wait. Moms. Miss Lawrence stopped by the house before we left for church this morning and handed some stuff to my mom. And they made some stupid joke in the doorway about how Sunday is the day of rest and laughed at the shrill way they do. It's weird that Miss Lawrence never laughs that way around me and Violet. I think my mom paid her in the 20s this time, but I'm not sure. Afterwards, she spun the bag around in her hand and asked if I wanted any after church. She said it'll help me think straight. Miss Lawrence is a drug dealer? I told her that Judith and I had plans after church and backed off, same as always. How long is it gonna be before she slips some of that crap in one of my drinks just to see what happens? At least things are safe at Judy's place. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that, Olive? Only thing I have to worry about is overdosing in sugar. Okay, so apparently prom is the thing I need to go on now. Judith asked me after church what my plans were for prom now that Violet and me are dating. I didn't even know there was a required thing. The whole concept of school dance just seems allowed. She kept pressing how important it was though. I told her I didn't have any money to go. She said she could use her connection with student council to get us tickets. And she asked me what kind of suit I'd like to wear. I asked her why I couldn't just wear what I normally wear. Sure, she didn't even say anything. She just stood up and grabbed her keys. Now she's taking me talking to some guy at the mall about a suit while I wait for her at the food court. It's just gonna be one afternoon, it seems. Judith's really determined to help me with this stuff for some reason. I guess that's just what friends do. Miss Lawrence is a drug dealer? An error kind act in the sea of equally kind acts. Hey, Judy. Okay, are you with us not watching a movie today? I know you were kind of setting up for it, but do you mind if just this once we do something else instead?
Something else? Like what?
Anything really. I'd honestly be totally fine with just sitting here for a bit and talking with you. So, what's on your mind? Anything in particular you want to talk about?
Come on, Oliver. You know that's not how this works. You put something on someone on a spot like that, they're just gonna get flustered and not say anything at all. Really? Why? Because that's just how people are. But I put you on the spot 5 seconds ago and you're doing fine. So clearly that's not completely true. You know what? Here, I'll show you. Is there anything you want to talk about, Oliver? You have 5 seconds. Okay. Why do you spoil me so much lately? Do science calls, do you ever... Hold on. Do science calls seem strangely empty all of a sudden? Do you ever get an anxious feeling thinking about how we're probably never going to do anything as important as the stuff we did this summer? Have you been feeling sleepy lately? Are you mad at Ashton for leaving? Okay, I get it. You didn't have to keep going. You were good after the first one. But you said I need 5. You said you had 5 seconds. Oh. Sorry, I guess I misheard you. How'd you even do all of that so quickly? You kinda just exploded. Like that time you and Ash threw a watermelon off the roof, but with words. Not that hard or anything. Why do you not explode? Because like tossing all fruit off your best friend's rooftop, human conversations can be extremely dangerous. Language is a sticky thing. Even simple words have potential to be volatile, scary low truffles. Children needs to be dressed properly in order to be palatable. A little deliberation goes a long way when it comes to making that happen. Not everybody likes sweets though. You can spend hours dressing up your words and still miss the mark completely. It's not just words. People on the whole are volatile. How's anyone supposed to know what someone else is good with unless you throw it out there in the first place? Body language mostly. If a person looks tense, it's a pretty clear sign that you should think of something safe to talk about. Are you saying that I look tense? Oh, you always look tense, Oliver. I can't remember a time you didn't look at least a little uncomfortable. Guess that's why I try to make sure you're happy every time you try to come over. It's hard seeing you worn out all the time. So that's all this is, huh? How good are you in reading people like that, Judith? With strangers, I assume there's still a pretty big fail rate. You're right about one thing. Even with all my efforts, it's still not possible to read another person's thoughts. Even with my sister, there's still times I have to be pretty much guess what she's thinking. But feelings are easy. I can ignore those even if I wanted to. And besides, I've known you for so long, Oliver. It's not too hard to tell what you want whenever we're alone together. Okay, I'm not easy to read then. Still. If she really is basing everything she says off of what I'm feeling, can we try something out then, Judith? Something like... I have a hypothesis I want to test out really quick. It's just a fun little experiment. You've all people should be really good with that, right? Experiment? Do you mind closing your eyes for a bit? My eyes? Okay. Could you turn around as well? I think I need you facing away from me for this to work. You got it. Don't worry, we're just gonna do a little thought exercise. I'm gonna need you to keep your eyes closed the entire time. Is that good with you? Of course. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Okay then. I'm gonna make it impossible for her to placate me. I'm gonna do my best to emulate Violet's tone of voice as I walk Judith through what I want her to do. For now, I only need you to breathe. Focus on your breathing. Got it? I'll let Judith meditate for a couple of minutes. Funny enough, it's important I choose my next words very carefully. Now I'm gonna ask you a question. Your only goal is to answer this question as quickly as possible. And your answer absolutely cannot have anything to do with me. She opened her eyes. Oliver? Clear the image of me from your head completely if you need to. Make my presence in your life insignificant. Make it something trivial, something that's not even worth thinking about in the first place. I need you to understand what I want you to do. Please nod your head. After a few seconds, Judith meekly knocks her head. Hold on, I want to check something. After I gave her a little bit longer to focus on her breathing. Now then, the question. Is there anything you want to talk about, Judith? You specifically, no one else. Not me, not your sister, not Miss Lawrence, just you. Hi, Hector Sketcher. It is being hours. A few seconds pass, then a minute, then 2 minutes. What's wrong with me? What the hell is wrong with me? Judith, though clearly distressed. Yeah, no, apparently the same thing with Judith. Still keeps her eyes closed. Maybe she just needs a little more direction? There's nothing wrong with you. What do you want to talk about, Judith? You have any new cosplays planned? Have you baked anything? I don't care about any of all of that. Judith absolutely bells at me. In all my years we've been friends, I don't think I've ever heard her say something so intense. I can't separate myself from you. There's only you and whatever it is that you're feeling. It's always there, always like sea lice swimming under my skull. It's all that's ever allowed. Anything else just gets pushed out of my ears. This isn't normal, is it? Oh god, if I'm not normal, then what am I, Oliver? What the hell am I? See, this area has a nighttime. Alright, let's check out a new journal entries. I don't think it's the same for you, Hector Sketcher, because very clearly Judith has some obsessive issues. Because it was Friday night and nobody really had anything they had to do in the morning, we all just stayed over at Judith's place after we got done with our work. While Val and I were brushing our teeth, Ash threw her air mattress next to mine and immediately passed out before either of us can say anything. I assume that's supposed to be his. I basically got no sleep because of that. I couldn't stop thinking about the things Violet wrote for me on her list. Oh. Ash threw Violet's air mattress next to mine. Okay. We've been so busy working this week that I guess I never really had any time to process it. I must have slept at some point though, because I woke up to Violet poking my cheek a bunch with her index finger. She was right next to me on the bed, giving me a public hug. Item 4 on her list. Nobody else was in the rooms though, so I don't know how public this hug of ours was. That was until Judith walked in. I almost shit myself. Breakfast is ready, lovebirds. She didn't slam the door after that. But I think that's only because she stopped herself at the very last second. I thought of the item 9 on Vi's list for most of the breakfast. At some point, I guess I told everyone that the two of us were dating. That was followed by a chorus of, we know, from everyone except Andy. She just started laughing. I helped Judith with the dishes so I could get the chance to talk with her in private. There's a lot I should probably talk with her about, but we mostly just discussed the Midnight Guard.
I haven't watched Obsession yet. A lot of people keep telling me to go watch Obsession. I don't know why, but I asked her why she was so focused on helping Violet graduate. She says she was helping her for the same reason I was. She said it was because Violet was her friend. And friends help each other. We didn't talk too much after that. I remember the exact moment I became so afraid of dying. It was last summer, after all those stupid jellyfish washed up across the beach. Until then, I'd always been pretty good about that, never letting you guys see me sweat. Wait, why can't I regress? There's not even a choice. Oh. We can swap her outfit? Oh, hello, that's different. I remember the exact moment I became so afraid of dying. Those was jellyfish type sirens, the ones that started spawning the day after we drained the ocean. Our physical attacks weren't working, but I just thought nobody else was punching them hard enough. Mel yelled something after I rushed in. I think he might have been ordering me to not touch them. It was a new type of enemy I want to show off for you guys because... Shit, I'm not even really sure why. Maybe I thought taking it down after Ashton's lame attempt would inspire all in some way, maybe. Like, if the sirens seemed powerful, then maybe killing it would be motivate everyone else to shape up for a bit. But that was nothing more than senseless grandstanding. The coach thinks of the team first, not herself. I mean, it shouldn't even matter, but I was too concerned with looking cool, and because of that. And, well... It was only a couple seconds after the kick landed I was certain how stupid all of this was. There's no pushback. It was like his body was actually made of jelly. That feeling I remember most. Me being thigh deep in the body of some barely sentient freak. It was horrible. Made all sorts of promises to every god I could think of at that moment. But it was only after I started hearing Judith scream my name over and over that everything became clear. I was absolutely gonna die in that place. I began vomiting after that, I think. Then the crying started. I was so unsatisfied. I was painting myself as some kind of powerful warrior. But in reality, I was gonna die being the only thing I've ever been. A stupid kid and nothing more. Then there was that cold feeling. It wasn't what I expected though. Tell me, was it Violet who thought to freeze him? Violet. She saved my life that day, didn't she? It makes all this shit even worse, doesn't it? We'll visit Violet after this one, probably. The park was completely empty, save for Andy sitting at a nearby bench. I couldn't help but interpret her inactivity as some sort of horrible omen. So I did my best and approached her tactfully. You okay, coach? I tried to say that without seeming disingenuous, but my presence alone seems to put her on edge. Ash is really gone, isn't he? Oh. Did you know? Did Judy know? Why didn't anyone tell me? I passed by his house during my warm-up run and everything was just... Why? I don't understand. We're so much closer than this and he just left. He left like we were nothing but strangers. There wasn't even anything I could do about it. There was a tangible swelling panic in those last few words of hers. I should probably try and de-escalate this somehow, so Andy doesn't stress herself out completely. I'm sure he had a good reason.
Ashton wouldn't do something that out of character for nothing, right? Maybe he needed to leave. Maybe he was trying to protect us all somehow. And he stands up from the bench, clearly unfazed by my tepid hypothesis. Let's just run. I'll have plenty of time to feel sorry for myself later in the day. But you're still here, so we should make the most of it. Sure. Lead the way, coach. Neither of us say a word during our jog. Even so, I can feel Andy's temperament growing more and more intense as we make our way closer to school. To my surprise, she doesn't slow down after reaching our usual stopping point. Instead, she simply hops the gate in one fluid, aggressive motion and continues running. Andy? She takes a hard left towards the baseball field, the opposite towards the direction of our normal access point. I scramble over the top of the gate, doing my best to keep up with her. By the time I find my footing, she's already back, running my way, carrying something long and shiny in her hands. Wait, are those baseball bats? Andy, what the heck are you doing? Oh, I'm just going to the school to blow off some steam. Want to come along? She tosses one of the metal bats through the air into my hands. It's not midnight, so there's no way she's going to the underworld to look for sirens. So what are you planning to do? No more questions. I already know the answer to. And you call her out on this crap. Don't be stupid, Andy. You know smashing out of school like this is gonna bring anyone back. Well, that'll help make me feel a hell lot better than I do right now. So about the fact that this is property damage. You really okay with getting arrested? Nobody cares about what we do anymore, Oliver. I thought you knew that already. I thought that much was obvious. You do whatever. I'm going inside. Peace out. Have a nice life. Annie pushes herself past me in a haze of rage. Nothing about what she's doing is healthy, but if I try to physically stop her, there's no doubt about it. She'll absolutely run me over. I can do whatever, huh? I'm acting like a real jerk right now, coach. Yeah, that's right. I might not be able to stop her head on, but if I piss her off enough, there's a chance I'll get her to chase me. If I can't outrun her, at least I can lure her away from school. That might give her enough time to calm down. But I need the right kind of bait. You don't need doing this because it's easy. There's nothing difficult about going into an empty building and throwing a temper tantrum. What are you, 5? You want to hash it out with me, that's fine. I'll spend a whole day talking to you about Ashton. I don't even mind. If you're gonna go into that school just to break stuff instead of doing what you need to do, then all you'll be doing is admitting your own weakness. In an attempt to emphasize my point, I dropped a bat in my hand at Andy's feet. She raised her eyebrows, chuckling a bit to herself in the process. Was that supposed to motivate me or something? Oh, Oliver, that was some of the hookiest crap I've ever heard in my entire life. Do me a favor and take a public speaking class once you get to Asheville, alright? Andy flings the baseball bat over her right shoulder and smashes open a nearby window. After a couple of swings, the gap she makes is large enough for her to jump through. I follow Andy into the school, screaming after her as she runs down the hallways. She doesn't stop to bring anything else. She just keeps running down the hallways, as if she's looking for something. It's only after we reach the art building that Andy finally stops. She stands in front of locker 713, her eyes wide and her breathing sporadic. Andy, stop it! You're not thinking straight. What if Ash is back there? That's our only way back in. You could be... I'm not able to finish my sentence before Andy begins swinging. Over and over again, she slams her bat into the locker. We should have done this a long time ago, Oliver. What sort of dumbass keeps his door to hell open for 3 entire months? I hate this town. I hate this black hole of a school. All it does is suck you in and never let you go. I hate feeling so goddamn helpless. I hate the sirens calls. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Your screams of frustration echoes throughout the ambient hallways. A chorus of pure rage peppered by multiple metallic thuds. Flakes of orange paint shoot off the frame of the locker as she bludgeons it. After 3 minutes or so, the door flies out completely and slides across the lacquer of the floor.
I hate it. I hate it.
The tip of the bat bends a little as Andy weakly smacks the top of the locker. She finally stops moving, her dented baseball bat making one last audible clang as it falls to the ground beside her. A light bulb bubbles up in Andy's throat. Why did you do that? Ash could have been trapped back there. You might have gotten lost or something, and now there's no way you can ever... Stop talking. You know for a fact he isn't back there, Oliver, so why are you trying to make me feel like shit? Stop playing done. Ashton has no reason to hang around us anymore. He's graduated. He's moved on. He's gone. So let me have this. None of what I did is ever going to matter anyways. Let's go back to the park. Ash had the right idea. Less time we spend here, the better. We don't bother running back to the park like we normally do. But halfway there, Annie begins mumbling something to herself over and over again. I'm too far away to make out what she's saying. After what feels like hours, we finally make it back. I find the hardest bench and collapse on it. Or nearest bench. Even though we didn't run as much, I've been on my feet all day, so my legs are stiff and unresponsive. Andy hovers over me with a disgusted scowl on her face. Stretch. Give me like 30 seconds, okay? I'm really not feeling it right now.
Stretch, Oliver.
What's it to you if I stretch my legs or not?
Just let me be for a little bit.
30 seconds, that's all I'm asking. Okay. Let's get some advice. I just need 30 seconds to breathe. Annie puts her hands on her hips like a disappointed mother and digs her heels into the sand. Why is she always so forceful about this stuff? Whatever, it's not like she can force me to get up. She's gonna have to be patient. Wow, 30 seconds is a long time, actually. What if I move my mouse off the screen? Does that stop me from, Andy's presence is intense, but I somehow managed to weather it out. The throbbing pain in my hamstrings has lessened significantly, so I have no problem getting up and stretching my legs against the picnic table. Wow, it sure is amazing what a little rest can do for the body, don't you think? Andy doesn't respond. She just placidly stares at the bench. Fate Raid! Hello, Raiders! Let me get you a quick shout out. Shout out at Fate. Hello, Fate. Fate and Fate Raiders. What were you playing? What were you playing? Actually, let me see. Borderlands 4. Nice. How was that? But welcome, Raiders. If you don't know who I am Lena Barnett, so sorry VTuber. I'm a Western themed VTuber who plays all sorts of strange and unusual games. And right now we are playing a game called Siren's Call, Escape Velocity. A game about running away from Florida. And all the stuff that Florida does to try and keep you there. Like apparently eldritch horrors and stuff. Hi, story of your life. I can't help but notice that you have a NASA avatar next to your name, Wiggle. Where you also, this is specifically about watching the rockets from Cape Canaveral too. Get you away from Florida. Yeah. So in this game, they kind of had like a Persona-esque adventure where they did the Midnight Channel already. And this is the aftermath of it all and how everyone's been handling the... Frankly, they all have PTSD from it. But how are y'all doing? How was your Borderlands stream, Fate? You finished RE9 and played a bit of Borderlands 4. It's been fun. Ooh, nice. What do you think of RE9? I think, I really enjoyed RE9. I think it's my second favorite. I don't know if it's because of, it could be because it's like the first one I played, but RE2 Make is still my favorite. Yana is a metahuman. True. These are top 3 so far. Nice. Anyways, if you or anyone else in the raid needs to get something to drink, something to eat, or just need to log off for a bit, because I know it's been a while for you guys stream, feel free to do so. Otherwise, you can watch as I suspect our main character has been drugged by a potential love interest. Whoops. She just placidly stares at a bench, color slowly draining from her face. I don't get it. Shouldn't you be happy that I'm finally starting to stand up for myself? It means I get to emulate some of your famous tenacity, right? I'm only acting the way you want me to, so what's the problem? Again, no response. He's not giving me more to work with, it seems. I guess we're done here for today then? You probably need some time for yourself, so I'll just see myself out. Later, coach. Trying to work about Ash too much, right? You're wrong about standing up for yourself. Andy? You're not standing up for yourself. You said it before, right? All you're doing is copying me. And that's all you're ever gonna do, Oliver. Excuse me? You always act like you're a super deep person whenever you're alone with Violet. But you're really just following her lead, aren't you? Because you sure as hell are nothing like that whenever we're alone together. It's the same thing with Mill too, and my sister. It's definitely the same with Ash. You're the most white bread guy on the planet, but whenever he's in the room, you're all of a sudden this badass dude that's ready to raise hell and break the law? Bullshit. Nothing more than a stupid robot. You're not defending yourself, there's nothing there to defend. You've got no soul. Everything about you is either borrowed or stolen from someone else. But hey, it just comes with the turf, right? Spurgs like you don't know how to be actual people. They can only do what they're told to be. I forgot to mention that there is a trigger warning for language about that kind of stuff. I'm sorry for anyone who read that. There was a trigger warning at the start of the game and the stream, but I didn't realize that he's just gonna call it out directly like that. No wonder Miss Lawrence loves tinkering with you so much. You'll be any chip shit she throws in your damn plate. That's why you're watching over Violet for her, right? Because that's what she told you to do. Man, you're such a good student, Oliver. Such a good boy. If only you love Violet as much as you love kissing ass, then maybe she'd still be going to college with you. But in the real world, love only belongs to people that actually are capable of loving themselves.
And nobody's taught you how to do that yet, have they? You don't know how I am when I'm alone with other people. There's no way you could. Oops. I know everything about you, Oliver. Which is why I'm damn sure that you're not in love with Violet. Not really. Whose fault is it she wasn't able to graduate again? Hell, you never freaking looked at her until Miss Lawrence ordered you to. You don't really care about her. You were just another shitty caretaker. And now we're here, yelling at each other in the park over stuff that should be obvious. Obvious? Wait a minute. Man, you two could have been picking up furniture for your dorm together, thinking up ways to end up in the same classes. But no, you're here in Siren's call. Getting beat on like a doughy loaf of bread that you are. So go ahead and stand up for yourself, Oliver. Because believe me, I'm dying to see what that would look like. I've got... I've got no soul, huh? You honestly think that, Andy? Or is this something that you were told by someone else? I wonder. Would you be shouting this crap if I just joined you on smashing that locker with you? But that's the key to all this, isn't it? Right, you may be tough, Andy, but this isn't your kind of background. I've got this. I know I do. Well, Andy, you're right about one thing. You do like giving people what they want. And yes, that is something I picked up from someone else. So fine, I'll defend myself, if that's what you're after. You're dead wrong about me being soulless. Because if all I know is how to do is copy people, then why didn't I beat up that locker with you? You came back with 2 bats after all. So how is it that one of those bats magically ended up at your feet? Easy. Joining in wasn't something that even occurred to you, obviously. You were too busy thinking about talking trains or blue hedgehogs or whatever it is that you people talk about.
Holy shit, Andy. Jesus Christ.
You've got no real fire in your belly, so you probably just want to look cool and we're quoting in a movie or some stupid shit.
I see. Can't help but laugh a little bit after hearing that last bit.
What's so funny, boy?
Nothing. It's just kind of relief if that's what you think, I suppose. You know a lot about me, Andy. A great deal more than I'm probably comfortable with. But it's nice to know that you still don't have the full picture. At least not yet.
What?
I don't know if you're acting like this because I've been acting different, or because there's something legitimately wrong with you today. But for what you've gotten right, it's good to know that you're still able to be wrong where it matters.
I know everything about you, Oliver.
Then you wouldn't know how much I care about you being happy, Angelica. I'm yelling at her, aren't I? Oh, and I have all my good work undone yet again. That's fine, though. I don't have to be better than her. I don't need to be honest. Of course it was an option for me to beat up on that locker with you. It was always an option. I want him back too, Andy. Maybe not in the same way you do, but I feel half as much for Ash as I do for Violet. I have to lower my voice for this next part. And I completely understand why you wanted somebody to smash that locker with you.
You don't know what you're talking about. Want to blow off some steam, that's it. That has nothing to do with Ash.
Remember that jab you made about me earlier, the one about my interests? Want to know what my real obsession is, Andy? The personal equivalent of your own fervent, insane exercise routine? It's a fact. It's trying to understand how the rest of you guys are feeling. Not plumbing, not dinosaurs, not 17th century French shipping routes. Just piecing together and evoking certain emotions. My brain could have given me anything to fixate on, but much like you, it glues my thoughts to one skill that people I love need from me more than anything else. How lucky is that? I don't understand. I have entire journals worth of poems about you guys, stacks and stacks of desperate attempts to make sense of all this crap we're going through. Turns out one of the big perks of being an ass kisser is that you're pretty much always on the lookout for those sorts of things. And poetry is a pretty good way to keep track of it all. Again, isn't that lucky?
Guess it depends on your definition of lucky. Personally, I think it's really creepy sounding. Okay, I'm trying to say is, I think I get how you all feel right now. I've never seen two people bicker the way you and Ash should. But he knew how tough you were. He knew you didn't need to be coddled. It's probably nice to be seen for who you are and still admired for it. And now he's gone, some of that's gone too, isn't it? You can't really get that from anyone else. At least not the same way. That's really, really sucks, right? Stop trying to psychoanalyze me, you freak. Andy tightly curls her fists. You're not supposed to know how other people feel. I don't care how much shitty poetry you write, because you don't know fuck all about me and Ashton. Maybe you don't, I don't, but I want to know, Andy. I want to be a good friend. I want to understand what you're going through. Doesn't that amount to anything? You don't have to go running around acting like everything's great. If I'm wrong, then please tell me how I'm wrong. You are wrong. Then tell me how, damn it. No! Andy's scream pulses through the air, scaring away a nearby group of seagulls. Before I know it, she's on the ground, slamming her head and fists against the bench. Andy, stop it! You're going to hurt yourself! I move around, trying to get a better look at her. The skin of her left hand has already begun to tear, and a deep red of her blood is beginning to mix with the dry, cracked wood. Andy, please stop! No, 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 no! Go away! Bring him back! He's a dick, but at least he's real. There's nothing real about you, nothing! Nothing, 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 nothing. She's not stopping. Okay, don't panic, Oliver. How's it go again? What did the book say? Speaking in a reassuring, calm voice. Something like that, right? Andy's not a child, though, and if I try to help her... No, I need to do this. There's no other way. I wrap my arms around Andy and give her a gentle, reassuring hug. What? Get off me. Bye, hugs. Only if you tell me how a hug is worse than what you're already doing. Shut up. I'll kill you. If hurting me makes you feel better, then I won't stop you. Just stop hurting yourself, please. I have no idea if this is the right thing for me to do. And so I just tried to be the kind of person I needed way back when stuff like this was common. Even if that's not who I am, even if it's not real. I tried to be that for my friend. You're pathetic. There's zero self-respect. I've stepped on shit that has more going for it than you. Okay there, Dad. Nothing I've heard already. Haven't heard already. So, who are you copying this time? Violet? My sister? No idea. All that matters to me is I stop dwelling on that perfectly innocent bench. I don't really care about much else right now. Okay, I get it. Can you let go of me now? You're all sweaty and smelling and stuff. It's weird. Andy lightly shakes me off her body and pulls herself onto the bench. I stay on the ground, but sit up, looking as my friend begins to collect herself. The redness of her face and stillness in the air around her feels painfully nostalgic. I've never met anyone who gives less of a shit about staying alive than you. But that's not bravery. Ash was brave. You're just a crude imitation of the real thing. And that's not something I can ever respect. I don't need respect. I'm just happy you're safe, that's all. And what about Ash? It's gonna be there to make sure he's safe. This brain-dead drunk of a father? Please, the only reason any of us survived this summer is because all of us were there to support each other. So who's to say he isn't already dead? You can't think like that, Andy. Just because you love somebody, it doesn't automatically make them your responsibility. He's graduated. He's moved on. We just gotta let him go. Hypocrite. Huh? Oh, never mind. I already put you through the ringer enough today. Can't believe you actually called me Angelica again. You really have that big of a death wish, Cap? Oh, death wish would make sense, right? Given the context of your name and all that. Huh? Oh, never mind. I'm just being facetious. I don't mean anything by it, so let's just cool down for a bit, okay? Okay. I already know he doesn't love me back. At least, not in that way. Oh. And I used to think because he didn't really view me as a woman for some dumb reason. I thought he was just being stupid. After seeing the way he looks at a mill now. Oh. I see. So that quip from Violet about egging Ashton's ass was not random. I see that Ashton swings that way. Which sucks so much more. So much more. That sounds about right. We don't know for sure if he feels that way, though. Maybe all you gotta do is ask him. You know he does, Oliver, and so do I. Don't feed me that crap. Besides, Ash and I didn't exactly have that kind of relationship. Not yet. If either of us put ourselves on the line like that, probably just both end up laughing it off. I do plan on asking him one day, if I ever get to see him again, that is. He's not gonna die, Andy. You'll get your chance. You don't know that. Even if you're right, I doubt he'd ever open up to me about something that intense. He's just not that kind of guy. You don't give him enough credit. As a gutsy dude, he might even do something to surprise you. Self-respect is one thing, but having some amount of respect for friends is important too, right? And big words about respect coming from a guy who says he doesn't need any. I don't need it, but I'm not gonna be around much longer anyway. You and Ash are different. You two still have plenty of time together, I'm sure of it. You scare me when you say shit like that, Oliver. You'll be around. You can't be my brother-in-law if we don't see each other at least once a year, right? Not this again. I'm telling you, Captain, she's totally nuts about you. And that's a bona fide fact straight from the girl's diary. I'm not dating her, Andy. Being with Judith that way just doesn't sit right with me. Fine. Your loss. She's too good for you anyway, seriously. Andy hops up from the bench and brushes the dirt off her legs, swaying a bit in the process. Speaking of Judith, would you mind giving her a call? I'm not feeling so hot. Andy collapses back on the bench, clearly winning from today's events. Ollie, are you okay? Judith. Please, get Judith. Alright, can I borrow your phone then? I need to call her. After a bit, Andy manages to hand me her phone. I call Judith, communicating only what's needed for her to understand her sister's situation. With minutes, she pulls up an old minivan and two of us somehow manage to stuff Andy in the back seat. We drive back to her house at a deliberately relaxed pace. Okay, I'm gonna get a sip of water. I'll brew her up some Camille tea. You get her into bed, alright? Guys, it's fine. I'm just a little dehydrated is all. I can... Ah, crud. I'll get her to bed. I'll make blankets. 2 comforters, turn the air conditioning down to 68 degrees. Also, flick on the white noise machine next to her bed. Let her sleep as long as she needs to.
Understood.
Yes. Get frail Andy to her quarters immediately. You know it's rude to talk about people when they're not even here, right?
I do as I'm told and I guide Andy to the bedroom. After confirming that she's comfortable, I turn off the lights, flick on the white noise, and begin making my way out of the room.
Hey. I'm sorry. You had to see me like this. I'm normally not just pathetic and weird. You know I'm not. You were right earlier. Something is definitely wrong with me, but honestly, I have no idea what it is. So please, don't think less of me for today. I don't want to lose an air friend, not like this.
Sure enough, Andy has presented me with one last challenge. A gauntlet of uncharacteristically sincere statements. I'm not even sure if this is even the right thing for me to say. But if I stand here too long, that's probably just as bad as saying nothing. You're incredible, Andy. All of us still love you tons, don't worry. Get some sleep. We'll talk about this more later, okay? And Judith, of course, is waiting for me in the living room with a cup of warm tea.
Is she doing okay?
She's still pretty shaken up. You sure this is all we can do?
For now, I guess. It normally takes an hour or 2 for her to sleep something off like this. Do you mind waiting around until then? It's important that things are consistent when she wakes up, so there isn't a big chance of her regressing.
Ooh, interesting. Of course, I wasn't planning on leaving anytime soon anyway.
Sweet. That's good. I think it's best if I'm the one who goes and checks on her, though, if that's okay. If only for the sake of familiarity.
Please, take the lead. Last thing I want to do is make things worse than I already have.
What do you mean by that?
I tell Judith everything that Andy and I did today. As much as I want to leave out details like her rampage at the school or outbursts at the park, I'll elaborate on everything for Andy's sake. The more smart woman like Judith knows about what actually happened, the better. Judith, of course, is disappointed with the both of us. Still, she doesn't waste time lecturing me. She mostly takes it in, doing her best to follow the trail of breadcrumbs that led to her sister's meltdown. Judith checks on her sister periodically over the course of the next 2 hours. After a much longer intermission than normal, Judith walks back over the couch and taps me on the shoulder.
She's awake. She wants to talk with you. Do your best, okay?
My best? Even though there was so few of them, Judith's words to me are nebulous and hard to unpack. Okay, I will, thanks. I get up from the couch and make my way into the bedroom. Judith must have dragged one of the chairs out from under her desk because there's already a place for me to sit next to her on her sister's bed. Andy weakly waves to me from his small castle of pillows as I take a seat next to her.
Hey, benchfucker.
Hey, coach. You feeling any better?
In a constant waves of shame and humiliation. Yeah, I'm doing good. How about you?
Me? I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be?
I wasn't exactly pleasant to you back there. I'm pretty sure I went well beyond my normal healthy level of smack talk. Especially after, you know.
Oh.
I shouldn't have called you that.
Come on, Andy.
No, let me finish. I'm an adult now. I gotta do this right. And I was wrong. You're not this frail, defective little thing I made you out to be. Strength isn't just muscle and presence. It's longevity. And the amount of crap you've endured is humbling. That longevity, that strength is unique to you, so you're not some blank page for others to leave their mark on. You're strong. Your existence is proof of that. So there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she was using some of that mid 2010s internet terminology, all right.
Is that a good enough apology? Do you accept it?
I mean, of course I do. But I don't really care about being strong, Andy. I've had people say that stuff to me before and it never really changes anything. I appreciate you putting yourself out like that, but I don't really mind if you guys think I'm weak or cowardly or any of that stuff. I just want to be happy, you know?
Strength is a path to happiness, though.
I mean, I'm sure it is for some people. But like you said, it's me being strong or whatever is tied to my existence. My existence is just life. It feels weird to be praised for living. But so when other people say that, I don't know, it's like white noise. I also need sleep, but not much else. Know what I mean?
Damn it. So I messed up again?
I didn't mean it like that. It's fine. It's not like you said anything mean that I haven't already heard before. I'm not really used to having someone apologize this much, I guess. And he looks away and begins fiddling with the fabric of her comforter.
Shit's been weird anyway, so I might as well lean into it. If you're able to magically start standing up for yourself, then I guess a weird, dumb change is due for each of us. And hey, adapt or die, am I right? Maybe it's better that Ashton's not around anymore. At least he can't see how lame I've become just after one day of him being gone. To him, I'll always be Andy. Invincible. Not Andy the doughy and emotional.
You were Andy the jellyfish queen to him for like 2 weeks and lived through that just fine. I'm pretty sure you could be Andy the toenail collector and he'll still find something to love about you.
Please don't say the word right now.
Toenail?
No, dumbass. Love. I'm still trying to accept, you know, about all that. Oh wow, at least it's only you that knows. I'm pretty sure you can keep a secret, so I should be safe.
Huh? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how secret did you think that secret of yours was? Because you're not exactly subtle about most things, if you catch my drift.
How many people know Oliver?
We might have all placed bets on when you'd confess to him. I don't think Ash ever found out though, so that's good, right? And he slams her face into a nearby pillow. To be fair, Mill and I thought you would have told him by now. We believed in you so much that we both lost 20 bucks on you.
Is that supposed to make me feel better?
Yes?
Ah! I hate this. Today sucks. My life is over. Time to get fat and start watching cooking shows all day. Fuck.
Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Hey Andy, we got some cheese with that wine?
Shut up. You complain about freaking everything, Oliver. You got more wine in your system than Miss Lawrence does in her lunch break. Just let me have this.
Okay. And just like that, the air once again grows calm between us.
I'm gonna miss this. Sometimes it's easy being friends with you, Oliver. Really easy.
Well, you know, comes with the turf, right?
Promise me you won't do anything stupid once you get to college.
Huh? Andy sits up straight, turns off the white noise machine, and hardens her demeanor.
You agreed with way too much I had to say about you today. It's not just Ash I'm worried about, it's all of you. You're like family. I would be devastated if anything happened to you guys. So promise me you won't do anything stupid in Asheville.
Andy, come on, what are you...
Just do it. I can't be your coach anymore, so now that we've graduated. You don't have a phone, so once you leave, that might be it. You gotta promise me you'll use everything I've taught you to keep you safe once you move up there. Promise me.
Conviction radiates from Andy's face as she waits for my answer. She needs this, doesn't she? She needs to know that all of her work hasn't been for nothing. All right. I promise. I promise. I'll do everything I can to keep myself safe once I'm up there.
Okay. Okay, good. That's all I needed to hear.
Annie falls down on the bed and breathes what I can only assume is a heavy sigh of relief. She nods off for a bit before quickly jolting herself awake and looking up at me. Tired?
Yeah, I guess. Really wish I wasn't, though.
Are you feeling good enough for me to leave? If not, I could probably stay for another 20 minutes or so. But after that, I really do have to get going.
I'm alright for now. I've got Judy if I need anything, so you go do what you need to do, Slim.
She flops down into her bed, stuffing a rather large body pillow in the space between her arms and chest. I can't help but smile at this uncharacteristically shameless display of comfort. It's unlike the old Andy in so many ways. It gives me hope for some reason. Okay. Goodbye, Andy. Thank you. I really do appreciate this.
Goodbye, Oliver. Stay healthy. And yes, that includes a lot of stretching.
Of course. I get up from my seat and begin making my way out the door.
And don't let anyone else drag you down. You're just like my sister. You care too much about too little. But if they can't let go, they can't let go. There's nothing worth feeling sad about. So keep going, okay? Just keep going forward. Keep moving forward. How is she? You two in there were awfully long time. Anything new to report?
No, just some apologies and she went back to bed. Nothing to worry about. Nothing at all. Anywho, sorry we couldn't hang out much today, but I need to meet up with Violet and start packing. So if you don't mind, dear miss, I do believe I'll be taking my leave.
Is that so? Well then, you better get going. Run along now, Olive. I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon. That's not right. Why is it morning again? After saying goodbye to Andy, I make my way over to the beach, hoping to find Violet there. Thankfully, she's in her normal spot, painting something on her larger canvases. Hey V, how's the painting going? There's only a brief pause in her brush strokes before she resumes painting.
Hi, thanks for showing up.
Thanks for being there. She's still not wearing her helmet.
You comfortable?
About as much as I can be. You?
About the same. I guess I'm not really myself when I'm away from the beach. I've been quite attached to this place, it seems. But Siren's call is like that, isn't it? Wherever you are, it just kind of bleeds into you and makes you its home.
And Violet buries her feet in the sand like a crab hiding from the rain.
Makes me wonder if it's even possible to leave.
Well, Ashton left, so why can't you?
Are you sure about that?
Sure about what?
Violet cleans her paintbrush off in a cup of murky black water before coating it once more in thick red paint. Never mind. We're here for now. That's what matters. So what's up? Are you surviving out there okay? You look tired, like even more so than usual.
I am, but it's a good kind of tired.
You've been working out then?
You could say that. I spend the next hour or so telling Violet about everything that happened between me and Andy. She lets me talk, I let her paint. A congenial, familiar pattern of ours.
So Andy the Invincible is finally letting herself get some rest. Good. That's really good to hear. She's too young to be growing gray hairs on our behalf anyway.
Agreed. Still, I wish I could do more to ease her mind. I wish I could stick around.
All you need to do is keep your promise to her and she'll be fine.
I don't know, V. That's something like a pretty hard thing for her to enforce. It's not like she'll be checking up on me anytime soon. Our goodbye was pretty final after all.
So what? Even if she never sees you again, it's still worth being healthy for your own sake too. Honestly, even if you said goodbye, who knows how things are going to turn out? You've been wrong before, clearly, despite what Andy thinks. She could easily run into Ash again someday. But who's to say she won't run into you too? If you're not well off when she does, don't you think that'll hit her pretty hard?
Yes?
You're brooding again, Broodmeister.
No, I just feel like a little presumptuous for you to put me in the same league as Ash. Feels like false equivalency. Ash is a freaking moon to Andy. So even if she's right and she never ends up seeing him again, she'll still try to seek him out more, obviously.
God, I hate that word. You know she cares about you too, Oliver?
Yeah, but that's different, you know it. Besides, it'd be better if she chased after the people she could actually build a life with. It's simple math. We're human beings. Our resources are limited. And we're not in school anymore. There's no convenient way for us to hang out together again. Even if there was, she only has so much time to get where she wants to be. Sure, I'd love to stay in her life, but it's for the best when I settle. It's for the best, then I'll set fire to what we had. It'll be my gift to her, even if it's only for a moment. I'll lift her up with ungodly amounts of force. I'll burn it all. I'll use what's left of our friendship as fuel to help her reach escape velocity. There's a title drop again. I just hope I'm burning the right things. I hope I'm not making another mistake.
Another mistake, huh?
Violet turns away from me and starts moving her brush again.
Do you know why I paint the way I do, Oliver?
Huh? I mean, it's pretty much your style, right?
Nope. It's borrowed, like how most things are, really.
Borrowed?
I don't paint to be unique or special or any of that goofy claptrap. I paint this way because there's no mistakes.
What are you talking about?
Mistakes. Most aren't worth getting too upset about. Because most are really small. And because the vast majority of the time people are really only going to see the big picture. They're going to know if that tree of mine was once a telephone pole or if that ear was once a nose. All they're going to know is an expert points it out to them. They only see the landscape or the monster or the person. That's how most people are. They see what they are shown. Which is super ideal if you ask me. Because as long as you can forgive yourself for those little mistakes, then that solves most of your problems right there and there. But there's an art to forgiveness too. You can be great at forgiving other people, but it doesn't mean a thing if you can't forgive yourself.
This sounds like more false equivalency.
You think so? V, I'm almost positive the mistaken the paintings aren't equal to whatever it is that I do. What about the locker? What about all the sirens I killed? Were the things I did this summer not a mistake? Oliver, you didn't do the things you did in the underworld out of compassion. You did it because you felt helpless. But what you're doing for Andy is different. You want her to be happy because you love her. If you choose to view both sets of actions as mistakes, I don't think the second one is worth losing much sleep over. That's all I'm trying to say. But hey, that's just me. You're still the only one who gets the final say on whatever, on what actually matters and what doesn't. That scares me a little though. I get the value of doubting yourself, believe me I do. But if you keep focusing on the texture of every little detail instead of the big picture, you're gonna lose your mind. I honestly believe that. So, let it go, hon. Not just for me, but for you. Please? I really think you need to. Violet holds her paintbrush to the sun and glares at it. I really need to wash my brushes more. Good lord. She lightly whacks her brush against the inside of a nearby bucket of water. As she does, the brush bleeds out, polluting the once clear water with murky, pernicious red. There we go. There we go. A little water cleans everything. Now we can finish up.
That's the same phrase that his dad was using.
The ground around us begins to slightly rumble. Or not. I guess it's about that time then, huh? Good. Violet stands up and begins packing her art supplies. Nice job of Andy today. You're one step closer to mastering your art. Come on, we don't need to stay here and watch the rocket go. It'll go plenty far on its own. Let's get you home. We don't talk for most of the walk back. It's only until we're halfway home that the stillness of the air is finally broken. Sorry I wasn't able to help you graduate.
Hi, Rika.
Let me give you a quick shout out.
How was Great Villainous Strategy? But welcome, Raiders. If you don't know who I am Lady Barnett, Silver Star VTuber. I'm a Western themed VTuber who does all sorts of strange and plays all sorts of strange unusual games. And we are playing Siren's Call, Escape Velocity, a game about running away from Florida, getting out of Florida, and all of the crab behavior things that people do to keep you staying in Florida. An amazing story concept. So far, our main character is stuck in a time loop where he's been struggling to get his friends to let him go, basically. And also for him to let go of his friends.
It was never your job to. Why even focus on that? You've got a promise to keep. You're gonna keep your promise to her, Oliver? You're gonna keep yourself safe?
I don't lie to other people, you know that. Lies are sticky. I'll take care of myself once I'm up there. Guaranteed.
And I packed the rest of my things.
Eventually, Miss Lawrence comes home and we load everything I own into her car.
It's all for naught, though.
We hear a loud siren in the distance. Miss Lawrence's neighbors run up to us in a panic frenzy. It's awful, they say. Our rival state has stolen all of our oranges. A statewide lockdown is initiated. Nobody's allowed to leave their homes until further notice. Drats. Looks like I won't be leaving Siren's Call anytime soon. How unfortunate. So far, the reasons that he's been kept have been turtles invading the airport, there's hurricane, which is normal, and now a lockdown from the theft of all of the oranges in the state. Class song? New and boring. Wait, why are the choices new and boring and old and boring? Where's the non-boring options? It's our favorite hostess. She's super glad that we've stopped by. Really, really, really glad. Why is she kind of like turning into a garbled mess of pixels? But yeah, even though you rated in Raiders, I think that's a good place to stop. I'll show off some of our cast members. It's kind of Persona-esque. Like literally Persona-esque. They had this big supernatural adventure over the summer, and they accidentally turned the entire town into zombies. Like psychological zombies. Oh, neat. Miss Lawrence's muse. But Miss Lawrence wouldn't have a muse. Yeah, so they would have they have Persona-esque things. Look at this Dark Souls ass screenshot. And a certain character may or may not be obsessed with our main character. All right. I think that's a good place to stop it for now. Let's go to just chatting. Okay, and that has been Siren's Call Escape Velocity. Oh, interesting. Anyways, upcoming stuff. Tomorrow I will be on Rika's channel. We're going to be playing Strangers of Paradise, so look forward to that. Besides that, will be more Pokemon Nova, Grand Blue, and Siren's Call. Regular stuff. What's on the raid? Raid. I'll send you all over to... I'll send you over to Nikkei Nada, who is playing some kind of dungeon crawler game. It looks interesting. Alright, I will see you all tomorrow on Rika's channel. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.